Did you listen to Andy's podcast that she was on?
Yeah. I mean, Tia's a whole nother level though. Like obviously she's the fittest on earth 5 years in a row. Yeah.
She's a machine, and she is so sweet and just so gracious and just the kindest, coolest human you could ever meet, for sure.
But boy, that grit that girl has, like I just watch her and nobody can touch her. I don't think, it's going to be like a Matt Frazier, like nobody's going to be able to touch first place until she retires from CrossFit, because she's just that far ahead of everybody.
I spoke to her whenever she's been in and visited and things like that, but to hear the actual history of how she developed that fortitude, that mental strength, I was like, she is a badass. If I walked in, if she would be like bench pressing a school bus, I would not be shocked.
The one thing she said in that, and it's just so applicable, she was talking about being raised, and like when she would fall down, her parents would be like, yeah, okay, rub some dirt on it, continue. And you realize that's where she gathered her strength, but also where we as a society have failed our kids, because it's like, oh my gosh, you have that, let's baby you, maybe you should take a day off of school or not go to work.
Yeah.
And so you see where the mindset of why she is the way she is compared to how the world is sort of operating today.
Well, and I think that's one thing that I think is always like hit home, because my parents were very similar in that regard of like, look at any kid, when they fall down or get hit, what's the first thing they do? They look at their parents. What's the parents' reaction? And they mirror it. And that my parents would be like, oh, it's too far from your heart to kill you, so get up and keep going, Like I was an like I would wreck our four-wheelers all the time. I was thrown over the handlebars a million times. Like I had so many freaking accidents and shit happen to me as a kid. And they'd always just look at me like, nope, come on, you're tougher than this, keep going, and it really does make a huge difference in your life. So it's like, I think that's what we all need to think about, whether we have kids or not, is like your reaction is what, that's like with handling, we talked about like the whole like body positivity and you are enough thing. Like if you constantly keep that face of like, yes, that is, you are enough, that empowers that person to keep that behavior. Where if we were to actually like be more reactive of like, look, I know that you say you're comfortable like this, but if you want to get healthy, I can help you in a way that you're going to love, you're going to feel better, and kind of offer them that transition in that. So it's like all like, it's standing for what you believe in, and also in a way, I know this is a twisted way to get around to the point, but we are responsible for not only ourselves, but for our reactions to others, where, how many times have you guys been with a group of people and they'll be saying some shit you don't agree with, but there used to be a point in your life where you'd be like passive and you're like, whatever. As you get older and you start standing up for yourself, like, actually, you guys shouldn't talk about that person. They're so nice and blah, blah. It shuts everybody down and helps to redirect their mindset on that. So I feel like even raising children like that, or whatever you're doing in life, it's our responsibility to keep our feet planted in what we believe in and what we know to be true, and not to pander to these people. And that's what's going to help improve people, by standing up for what you believe, because they're going to draw inspiration from you in regard to that and help their development with that.
Well,